Hi everyone, we're, as you know, Bart and Melissa Kotter from the Sunshine Coast, and welcome to our March team training. We have an exciting lineup of speakers that you're going to hear from today, as well as the new promotion, the Australia-New Zealand promotion, which we're really excited to go through. We'll cover upcoming events and also some incentives as well. So here are the wonderful people that you'll be hearing from today in our team. Bart's going to be talking to everyone listed here. We're really excited that they could join us. And so, as I mentioned, upcoming events, it's really important to know what's happening so you can get tickets ahead of time and be organised with your team to plan ahead.
Yeah,
so,
we're going to be going over a couple really important things, some takeaways from the huge event that we just had, but also we're going to hear from Mal Sword and Cristina Sword on some scripts, what to say to people. There's been a number of people that are questioning, asking how do we follow up with people, or how do we approach people? What do we say? So that'll be really important that we're going to go over at the end as well.
So we usually start, as many of you know, with recognition, which is really important. There's been a lot of fantastic rank advancements over the last 4 weeks. We don't have all the data from this week. That usually carries over to the next month's webinar just because it's incomplete statistics until this afternoon. But we've heard of many of you rank advancing this week, and we are very excited and can't wait to celebrate that on our next webinar. So here are our Director 300s. So please reach out to these people on the list and let them know that we're thinking of them. They've certainly been recognised, and they're in a really amazing stage in their business to really launch into a really phenomenal future with ASEA.
This is really such an important level too, Director 300. If you can be a Director 300 machine, just bringing people on and helping them qualify consistently at Director 300, you can literally take this business right all the way to presidential triple diamond, because that's really what it's about, is helping people to get started. The whole comp plan that's kind of a key level pin that you need to get to have qualified levels at bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and so on, clear up to triple diamond. So you're really working on building your team, and so this is a huge congratulations to Director 300s. Well done to all of you.
Now we move on to Director 700s. So we've got a lot of phenomenal names listed here as we celebrate your success too, with the launching platform of Director 700 heading toward the executive ranks in ASEA.
Director 700, the same as Director 300, except for 700 points on the left, 700 points on the right. You've personally enrolled at least 2 people that, so you've got someone active on the left side and the right side of your business, and obviously being active yourself. So again, huge congratulations to the Director 700s for moving up, and as you're building and progressing in your business.
It's exciting to see as well the addition of a lot of the Asian names in our team, particularly the Taiwanese names as well, because there's a lot happening in Asia right now and some grand openings, and we'll just remind you of that in just a little while down through this webinar. Bronze executives, congratulations to these 2 very exciting bronze executives.
And actually, just as Melissa mentioned, there was a pile of new rank advancements that came in this week. This is kind of a large week because it is. There's 28 days in the month, so there's the 29th, 30th, 31st on other months kind of get compressed together, so it really adds to the volume as well. And lots of people advance to bronze and silver, which we'll have next month too. But this is really big. It's the first executive rank. Once you've hit this rank for 2 consecutive weeks in a row, you activate the executive momentum pool, the EMP bonus, which is significant too. So this is a great place to really build your business too, and then move from there.
We had some exciting silver executive rank advancements as well. So I know a lot of you on this list have put in a massive amount of work into your ASEA business. It's certainly paying off, and we're very excited to see you rank advance, and couldn't be happier for you. You're very deserving of the success.
Yeah. And silver is 3,000 points, 30 cases on the left, 30 cases on the right, 3,000 points on each side, and helping at least 3 people, lines of sponsorship, achieve the Director 300 level. Bronze is 2. So you're, again, building your team and expanding on that.
Now we're going to cover top associate enrollers for Australia over the last 4 weeks as well. So week 5 of this year, we have these amazing associates who have all ranked from 2nd to 7th in the country when it comes to their enrolling abilities. So congratulations to all of you. Yeah. I can see a few names on the list for people we're going to be actually talking to today, so we're excited to hear from them.
Absolutely.
And this is week 6 as well when it comes to the top associate enrollers. So congratulations to all of you for ranking, particularly Global Health Fair, who placed first in Australia as well, and Adam Spangler. So we'll see Adam's name down here again for another achievement shortly. So congratulations to all of you from week 6. Week 7.
Fantastic.
Congratulations. There's a lot of names listed in our team in Australia, so we feel very honoured and privileged to know that you're all building this amazing dream with us.
You can definitely see who's really decided to kick their business into gear and put some momentum behind it. Momentum is such a key thing when you're building, particularly when you're launching your business. And you can do a relaunch at any point in time too. That's so that true. Those 90-day pushes. So absolutely. This is a big congratulations to all the people in this
week 7 and week 8
as well. That's right. Yeah.
Let's move on to top emerging leaders, which is very exciting. We've got Julie Watts, who we're going to hear from today. She ranked number 1 in Australia during week 5. There's a lot of names here on this list. We're so excited.
Also, big congratulations to the other people that tied for number 1.
Yep.
Huey
Joyce
KK
and John
and
Bella
Joyce and Jay, yeah.
as well. So we're very excited for you, all of you. Okay, week 6. We have some amazing people listed on this list as well.
Alyssa, congratulations, number 1, and Suzanne Grist.
Number 1, congratulations. So excited for you both. Okay, now in week 7, top emerging leaders. We've got Tom and Mel, Ben and Karen and Wayne Pickstone in the number 1 positions, as well as ranking down to the 10 positions here as well. Joyce and John Bella at number 1 in week 8. So congratulations to all of you again for the last 4 weeks with the top emerging leader recognition. Well done. Okay, top auto ship all stars. Got some names we see every webinar on here that are ranking in this category for building a consistent auto ship business, which is absolutely phenomenal. So congratulations to all of you. Week 7, and we have week 8 as well. So congratulations again.
Yeah, it's so important when you get people started to get them set up properly and to get them set up on auto ship, because what we want to create is a really strong residual income as you build your business and help set people up for success with the product. So congratulations to these people for really building your business properly and helping people to get started right and making sure that they're on auto ship.
And that's important for the new promotion that corporate have launched for our region as well when it comes to the auto ship. So we'll explain that in a little while. Top EMP earners. These are the people who are having a lot of fun benefiting from the executive momentum pool. So congratulations to David and Karen. They're usually ranking first in this pool each week. And a special call out to Kath Wells, who is a Crossline team member who's ranking in 2nd position as well. So well done. No doubt you're enjoying the extra thank you money for the work that you're doing. So week 7 and week 8 for the top EMP earners. So well done.
The executive momentum pool. Hey guys, this is really an amazing pool and an amazing bonus, because you're participating in 2% of the global sales. Your level of participation depends on your personal group, 3 levels in depth. So you really want to build width and, of course, help your new people to really get started, because those points are being accumulated, and that's how you measure your participation in this pool. As you move up the ranks, you get a larger percentage deeper into your organization. So as you move up to silver and gold and platinum, but this is a significant bonus. You're really able to capture, some great income with this too. So what you want to do is you really want to strive to get to the bronze level and build a strong distributorship as quickly as possible to activate this and then move up the ranks from there.
Definitely. I said I was going to mention Adam again. So Adam was the only person in our team in February to achieve Fast Forward Plus, which is a phenomenal achievement in itself, and he gets to pick up some fantastic cash and products, particularly in the form of loyalty rewards and the Fast Up bonus there. So we are really, really happy for Adam.
Yeah, so to achieve the Fast Forward Plus, this is putting on 8 people in a 2-week period of time, and you've got to create 1,200 points volume in that period of time too. So they've actually expanded that from the Fast Forward to the Fast Forward Plus, and you can see the Fast Forward is bringing on 4 new people with 800 points. So it's just a great way to achieve some extra, to earn some extra money, earn some extra product, get some sample tubes, and really build your business. I mean, it's great because it rewards us for doing what we should be doing anyway. It's a nice little carrot that they put out there for saying, hey, congratulations on really building your business quickly and successfully and creating the momentum that you need in your business.
And here are the fast forward achievers, as Bart's just mentioned, when it comes to the criteria to achieve this recognition. So we have some phenomenal people in our team who are definitely working the business with all-out massive action. So congratulations.
And I'm sure you've probably noticed that we're seeing a lot of the same names, because these are the people that really deserve the spotlight because they're doing things properly and they get the extra rewards.
Ascent finished yesterday in terms of the achievement, the qualification period, but we just wanted to recognise in our team the 2nd and 3rd place achievers for going to Cancun.
Yeah, congratulations. This is amazing.
Very excited. So well done to all of you. It's an annual promotion in exciting destinations, and yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. That comes up, that holiday or what you've earned will happen in June. So very excited. I
tell you, the one thing I love about this, and in fact, we just got started with Cancun, was the first trip that we took. Nice. And boy, ASEA knows how to throw a party and knows how to treat their associates to some pretty cool places. So you really want to strive to win these contests and these incentives. We'll have another Ascent trip coming up here being announced in the not too distant future. Yeah. And you can strive for that.
So here are the Ambassador Diamonds in our team who've already qualified for Oahu in October. So congratulations to Dan, Suzanne, Richard Lee and Malcolm Sword on achieving that qualification, that rank. This is a very exciting, beautiful, salubrious resort, so you'll have an absolutely wonderful, relaxing time. And then that's followed by the same people, along with Bart and I, Dan Ming Chen, David and Karen and Marie Joseph Shamatan or Mijo, also coming to the Grand Wailea Resort in Maui, Hawaii. So congratulations.
So this is all based on a point system for qualifying at the diamond level. The previous slide was for Ambassador Diamonds. So it's an extension to this trip. So if you're diamond, and definitely strive to make sure that you get the points to make this trip. The Grand Wailea is one of the most spectacular places in the whole planet. In fact, we had our wedding photos taken there. Just got married just down the beach from this place. It's absolutely amazing. In fact, it had the #1 rated spa in the world for a while. And the beaches, the pools, everything is just amazing.
So that's October 24th to the 28th as well. So I'm just going to check to see, because we have some, as I mentioned, very special guests on today. I just want to see if Mal Sword's made it on. Did you want to just talk about Mal's?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So just recently, hopefully Mal's on here. So just recently, Mal did a call. Dan Doyle, myself, and Stevie Aquilina and Sarah Aquilina hosted that phone call. And it was the 6 steps to building a large ASEA organization, how to do that. So it was really just an amazing call. I mean, people ranted and raved what they got out of that call, really talked about personal development. And it was really quite spectacular. So Mel, are you with us?
Yes.
I'm here. I've been here all the time, but I wasn't a panelist. So, but I'm here. Yeah. Good morning.
Okay, fantastic. Glad to have you here. So, in fact, on that call, do you want to just read out what?
Oh, yep. Or I'll just go into the screen share again. So
okay, just 1 second. Because I just mentioned this call that you did, Mal. We had a really incredible text message that I got literally just yesterday, and I wanted to read that out because we talked about this. And you want to read that?
Do you want to say who it's from? Or?
Yeah, so this is from Michelle Siemens. Michelle is someone that I've been working with over in the U.S., and I sent her a recording of your call, Mel, and yesterday she sent this text, and I thought it was so amazing, we just wanted to share it.
Last night I listened to the entire recorded call that you sent me, Mel Sword's 6 Steps to Building a Larger ASEA Business. This call was absolutely amazing. I'm planning on keeping this call and re-listening to it and sharing it with others. I really felt like I could totally relate with Mel Sword. Some of my takeaways from this call were, it is best to build your ASEA business leading with the business opportunity, because people move product, product does not move people. Also, that your dream has to be bigger than your fear. Each day we have a choice. We can choose to feed our fear wolf, which is inside us, or we can choose to feed our dream wolf. I am choosing to feed my dream wolf, and I immediately am putting my fear wolf on a major restrictive starvation diet.
Love it.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I just thought, everybody could relate with that. I can certainly relate with that. I think we all have these little voices in our head that just mess with us, that fear wolf, and we need to make sure we feed the right one. So if you haven't listened to that phone call, you can go to redoxdiamonds.com. It's posted there, as well as the link that Melissa already showed. I've got it posted on Team Builders Global Facebook page as well. But what we really wanted to do first here, Mal, we're actually going to have you on twice, because we're going to bring you back on at the end, as well as we go through some scripts. But we just came off one of the most incredible, in fact, it really was the most incredible Envision event, as well as Peak Performance event. People were just, walking on clouds, I think, when they left that event. But it wasn't just from a standpoint of being motivated. I mean, they were inspired with great information. And Mal, you've been the master at talking about events. In fact, that was one of the key points that you pointed out. And I wanted to bring you on first to just talk for a few minutes about the power of these events, and maybe what your takeaways were that you got from it, because we're all learning still. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't actually know I was going to do this bit. But look, the key with these big events is that one of the things we know is that people make emotional decisions. Can you guys hear me okay? Actually, do you know what? I'm going to come off my earpiece. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was getting so much feedback on my headset. So look, the whole business we have, building an ASEA business is about self-mastery, and it's about becoming the best that we can be. And often people, I think, are confused about how to build a business like this and the keys of building a business like this. But we're all people, and one of the things that came up in that script that was it Michelle that wrote back, is that, people move products. And so we are in a people business, and we're emotional creatures. We respond to emotion. And one of the things that happens at these major events is that they're very emotional, and that they move people to a point of empowering people to understand that we're all the same. Oftentimes we look at, and I did this early in my career, I used to look at these people on the stage and I thought, wow, I could never see that I could be like them, because I suppose we, put them on a pedestal. They were well edified, and I just thought, I'm just not like that. I had a lot of fear and a lot of doubts, but gradually, as I started to learn that they're just like me, we're all the same. We're all just human beings and doing the best that we can, sometimes better than others. But look, the power of these events is that it drives people emotionally. If you look at a commercial point of view, 6 weeks after a major function is always where we get the greatest growth in our organization. And I've certainly seen that from the events in Europe after the Barcelona event, and I'm seeing it also post the event in Envision down the Gold Coast. I will say this, that I think as a group of leaders that we really need to step up our promotion of these major events. Even the one in America that we had 3,000 people, we really should be seeing with this company, we really should be seeing an event over there of 30,000 plus. And that's not going to change by ASEA. That's not ASEA's role to promote these events. That's our role as leaders, is to encourage and promote and encourage our people to be there. There's a lot of people that went at these functions that, had they been there, I guarantee would have made a decision to become more active and help us to, drive this technology to the world. But I'm sort of digressing as I do. But look, these events are vital. If you want to get into the top earners with a company like ASEA, then follow what the top earners do. just watch what they do. Watch their example. Success always leaves footprints. And all the top income earners were at Envision on the Gold Coast. And all the people that don't make any money, they went at the function. And you can kind of connect those dots. It's not complicated. It's not convenient. I'm not saying it's convenient, but then you can write this one in blood, that success is always built on inconvenience. Always, always, always built on inconvenience. People think, well, when it's convenient, I'll get successful. Well, you'll never have success. You'll never meet it. You'll never find it, because it doesn't work like that. But look, the power of these events will transform this organization, will transform this company. I believe that how we're going to help Virtus get this company to $1 billion is by us promoting these events more, encouraging more people to come along. And this one on the Gold Coast next year, which will, before we know it, will be there. We should see thousands of people there. I'm going to start talking about this to people all the time, that this is where decisions are made, that your business, some of you, it will help you go diamond. If you run your numbers into Envision next year, I promise you, if you have enough people there, you'll go diamond as a result of it. So look, they're very powerful. They're very important, very strategic, very emotional. My takeaway always is I am absolutely gobsmacked when I listen to Tyler Norton. For the life of me, cannot understand how a man that age can have that much wisdom. I'm 20 years plus, and I still don't have that kind of wisdom. And I don't know, it's just, every time I listen to him, and for most of you on the call, you could probably claim the same thing. I could listen to the man all day. He just astounds me with his wisdom. And so for me, knowing that we have the quality of people like that at the head of this company is incredibly satisfying. I said to a couple of people yesterday, finally, and I think for you and Melissa, Bart, that, we finally feel we're home. Finally, after all the challenges in the industry, the ups and downs, finally we have found a home, a company that has integrity, decency, morality, the ethos that is definitely in line with the ethos I have as how we build these organizations. So my takeaway was always, is always the impact that Tyler Norton has on this great company, and how blessed we are to be on this journey with him. So that was my takeaway, big time. Always is when Tyler's around. Notwithstanding, all the speakers were great, and I continue to learn from everybody. So, but the prize for me was listening to Tyler Norton.
Wow, fantastic! Thank you so much, Mal. Speaking of the speakers, you were participated in one of the panels that we did, and it was pretty enlightening to see, the truth about, what it takes to become a diamond level associate, how many people they brought in, and we had a panel there. In fact, what I'd like to do now actually is, Julie, are you there? Julie Watts? Julie.
He often calls you Julia, so.
No.
I know you're saying Julie Watts. But
no, I actually want Julie Watts.
Yeah, but Julia.
Yep. Yeah, I'm here.
I hate to admit that, but I do. Julia and Julia and both names start with a W, so I do screw that up from time to time. So my apologies if I ever do that to you. But the reason I wanted to bring you on, Julie, is because Mal was talking about the events, and when Mal was on that panel, we did a panel looking at the incomes and so forth. I wanted to just get your take on, and I know you wanted to talk on that just a little bit. I'd love to get your takeaways, your perspective, and Julie's camera isn't working right now, so you won't be able to see her, but we can certainly hear you. So we'd love to just hear your takeaways and what you got from that event, what you're going to be implementing in your business, because this is really about the takeaways and what we can do, and we really want to hear from the leaders. And obviously you're on that leaderboard too. What are you doing to implement this in your business?
I think it's just really important that people understand what it actually takes to be diamond, because everybody can do that, and it's not as difficult as people think, because everyone in your team helps you build to diamond. It's not just something that you do by yourself. And Bart, you did this on the weekend. And I just loved it. I thought it was fantastic, and I think it's information that a lot of people need to understand. So I'll just quickly go through some of your points, because I thought they were fascinating, and certainly people on the call that didn't get to Envision might like to know this stuff. So Bart did a wonderful presentation with success profiles from some of our guys that are diamond and above. and you know, about what it takes to be diamond. So the average diamond takes 21 months to get to diamond. And that's the average. And we have guys that have actually beaten that. You know, the income for diamonds, the low income is about $12,000 a month. The average is $20,000 a month. And the high is nearly $34,000 a month. I'll try and keep this short. These guys personally sponsored, and this is the important part, they personally sponsored an average of 43 people. That's not a huge amount. It is 2 to 4 people a month. Everybody on this call can do that. For each of those, there was 38 more people, up to 10 levels in depth, and all of these people added 1,627 people. So this is how this business works. So, you know, an average of 43 people personally sponsored, 2 to 4 a month. Who can't do 2 to 4 a month? I really think that's important, that everybody understands that that's, you know, you can do a lot more than that. So you can get there faster. And some of our amazing leaders have got there faster. So, you know, Mal got there in 19 months, Dan got there in 16 months, Bart and Melissa got there in 18 months, David here in 11 months. So, you know, that's just incredible. So how do you do that? You just speak to a lot of people and enroll 2 to 4, you know. It's incredible. So work your business in 90-day bursts, which is something that I got from it as well. Be consistent, be really consistent. As Mal says all the time, this business likes consistency. You know, create a sense of urgency and of course have fun. And another big thing that I got was just to keep it simple. You know, when you're trying to help your teams rank advance, you know, help them figure out what their big why is, make sure they have a big dream, and just keep it simple. But literally, guys, you know, who can't on this call do that? 2 to 4 people a month, 43 people to get to diamond. That's the average. So that's it from me, guys. But I think they're really, really important figures. And I love that, Bart. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And you really nailed the points. In fact, just to, I don't know, put a little highlight, if I may, on a couple of things that you said, was the importance of everybody on that, that we had on that panel. They work their business in 90-day bursts. So when you say the 2 to 4 people a month, one thing that they all did is a big push, a big blast. And so your goal should be, if you're launching your business or relaunching your business, in fact, you can do multiple 90-day bursts, but you can do them back to back. You can Danny just does one consistent 90-day burst.
Yeah.
But really focusing on bringing 20 to 30 people in 90 days. And, you know, you can do it. It's just a matter of just all out massive action. And that's where you're going to see some great things. Consistency, knowing your why. And the other thing that was so important is working in depth with your people. So it's not just bringing them in, but it's helping them get started, plugged in. So obviously you're going to be taking what you learned from that and showing people how easy it is, because once you get clear on your why and you know why you're doing it, then you can make it happen. So diamond is not that big of a target, guys. It's absolutely doable. And sometimes in the beginning, we look at that and think, oh, gee, I don't know if I can do that. You can. You absolutely can. So, Julie, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I appreciate you taking some time with us to give us that input.
Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome.
Have a great trip to Asia.
Thanks.
Now I'd like to bring on Julia Wesley. Are you with us, Julia?
I am. Hi.
Oh, there she is.
Hi, Julia.
Fantastic. You look beautiful this morning.
Thank you very much.
Hey, I love your perspective. I mean, you were on the leaderboard on quite a few times there. So you've really, it's obvious that you've taken from the event, that you've moved some things into action, that you're making stuff happen. You've been on the leaderboard over and over again, with the fast forward and several other things there too. Love to get your takeaways. What did you take away from this? What inspiration can you give us that you're implementing in your business to really move things forward?
So for me, the Friday afternoon with Tyler was just phenomenal. I mean, I felt like at the end of that day, I'd got my money's worth completely. I mean, really. I also felt like this incredible, strong conviction that I already think my conviction's high, but going to that afternoon had me go, I'm just a complete and total yes about this company, about the people involved. And I loved it. And probably the thing that might be simple for other people, but I loved this point that Tyler made was that people respond most to the way we feel about them more than what we say or do. And when I really thought about that, I really feel like that's the truth of what happens and what happens in my world. I had a number of new people there at the event, and what I found is they've come away with conviction and a solidity that means that they're saying the same things that they were saying beforehand. Like, you know, they just started to talk to people, and people would come with objections and all sorts of things when they first contacted them. And then after the event, they're saying the exact same things, but with a level of conviction that's completely different. And the responses they were getting were things like, thank you so much for thinking of me. It's really kind of you to take your time and call me. You know, that sort of response rather than, so I'm seeing this response really change for the people that were there, and their level of conviction, which is beautiful. Also for myself, it's just, I just become more of a yes, you know, going to these events. I loved the entire thing. I felt like the Friday night set the scene for the rest of the weekend. I love the contrast between, you know, seeing all of what corporate's got to offer and then seeing the peak performance where you really get the practical information on the Sunday and see the personalities and the different ways people do it and see that really there's room for everybody. You know, you can really do this in a whole lot of different ways. It's okay to be yourself completely and just do it. There's some things that really work that people need to know about. And I think that information's there as well on the Sunday. So for me, it was just a great event for everyone that I brought. And I really thank you actually for organising, Melissa particularly, for organising the peak performance. And I know, Bart, you put a huge amount of effort into all of that as well. So thank you, because it was awesome.
Thank you,
Julia.
Yeah, we're very lucky. Melissa and Nicole work like clockwork to just get everything together and organized, and she gets the credit. I just get to come in and
shine,
look halfway decent at least.
Thank you, Julia. It was really a big deal for the people that you did get there, because you were traveling a distance to be there as well. So that definitely is a commitment.
Look,
so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, the things that we want to learn from this, I mean, these are really important gold nuggets that you've shared with us, and also Julie and Mal have shared with us too. And that's the whole point of this call, is what did we grasp from that, and how can you implement this in your business? And the one thing that I love about you is you are so heartfelt. You definitely know how to connect with people at a heart level. And so I think that's so important. I know that you're really good at the art of detachment. Sometimes we get so emotionally invested that this person has to come into our business, and we ride this emotional roller coaster if they don't come in. But what you've just said is, if we just stop and think, you know, how can this be a blessing for them? How can I help them? We think about them instead of us. All of a sudden it takes that fear away. And really, that's what I'm hearing you say. In fact, Tyler put it another way. He says, indifference really is the difference. And you're not really saying that you're indifferent about them. You're truly caring about them, but you're not so emotionally wrapped up in whether they have to join you or not. And I think that's beautiful. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
I think Tyler took it one step further this time. Yeah. He talked about, you know, about not being attached to the outcome and how they respond. But then he also said, you know, their response shouldn't actually sort of control your sharing and your conviction within your sharing, you know. And I loved that. It's like, have freedom. Yeah, sure, they can respond in any way they want, but you don't need to dampen it down or anything. You can actually just share what is true for you with conviction. I mean, sure, we don't like to, you know, throw up on everyone, but we do want to just be able to share really solidly from ourselves.
Yeah. I remember it said too, if you're talking with lots of people, then you're not so emotionally wrapped up in this person or that person getting involved. So we just talk with a lot of people, and some people take a little longer. Some people just need to follow up with, over a period of time. And I know that you're brilliant at keeping and maintaining and building those relationships and letting people come in with where it suits them best. So thank you.
Thanks, Julia. What
I'd like to do is now move on to Sepp. And a couple of people have already alluded to this a little bit. Sepp and Jeska are diamond level associates with ASEA. And, the thing that I really appreciate about ASEA, you can have the best product in the world. Quite frankly, I think we do. But unless you've really got that culture, that ethos, the integrity, you really don't have anything. You got to have a business that people that are running it have business savvy, business sense. And so we truly are blessed at that level. So Sepp, if you can just take a few minutes and share with us your takeaways from the event, that'd be lovely. Are you there?
Yep. Hi everyone. How are you going? Thank you for being here and giving a chance to have a chat with you all. I think we all, for those of us who did make Friday, it's just I could have walked away from that event on Friday and going, okay, I've got a whole new level of connection, clarity, confidence, conviction, all those sort of things. But there was something it was towards the end where Tyler was talking about the ethos and it hit me so hard. And I think when I got that, I think the way I'm communicating with myself and with others and the team, it shifted the way things are changing. And that one thing was, he said, he was pretty much wrapping up the whole ethos and we're all moved. It was like 4 hours of non-stop inspiration. And then he says, and if we're out there sharing ASEA, but we're not sharing the opportunity, which is the business side of it, because so many people are so afraid to talk about money and business on opportunity. He said, you're actually not living the ethos of ASEA, because the business and the product and the company and who you are is the ethos. It's Ubuntu. You can't separate, you can't take out the business and how people's lives have changed forever because of the what this money can bring for people. And, it's a bit like what Jeska and I were sharing. It's people want to have peace around money and what money can do for them and how it can impact their children and their family and their mum and dad and their family and friends. So for me, it was like, yeah, man, that was such a big deal for me in if I'm not talking about the opportunity where that can help shift and change and be a force for good in people's lives, I'm really missing a big part of the puzzle here, which is, I'm not really living and breathing the ethos. And so that was a big one for me. And the other thing I just wanted to share, I really absolutely loved this whole weekend, purely because every single person who was up on stage who shared, for me personally, I was moved, like Mel was saying, this is we're emotional creatures, and every person's story, people in the audience are looking up there and going, oh my God, can I do that? They're so amazing. They're great. They're shining away and they're flamboyant, all these different things. But every single one of those people up on stage, including Tyler and Justin and Jerem, every single one, and then all the speakers came from adversity, came from struggle, came from when Mal shared, he's like, I get teared up thinking about it now, when he said he wanted to buy a washing basket for $26 and that was on his goal, and to earn $100, and he's got 8 children. I'm one of 8 children. I know what that feels like. There were times in my life I had 1 potato for my meal for the day. And it was like, I know what that's like. So Mel, it moved me. And Cristina, with her story, and Julie, and forgot Ellen, the background where people have come from. Every single person in the audience is no different to all the people up on stage. And just know that and Julie just touched on it again just a second ago. A lot of people think, oh my God, I've got to do all this work and all these points and all this to rank it. No. It's ASEA says all the way to presidential triple diamond, we only need to have 2 cases in our to qualify. The rest of it is helping people. And it's about your team helping you get there and you helping them get there. So I'm going on a rant, but I just want everybody to know that we are all people, and whether Mel's had 35 years experience in network marketing, or Bart and Melissa, or Christina's got dynamic speaking ability, all that sort of stuff, every single person in that room has been born because we exist, and to the age of who we are today, we've all learnt some kind of skill, some kind of gift that we can contribute to the world. And I loved, just lastly, what Tyler shared. It was that the superpowers, if you haven't done it, do it, because I'm telling you now, a big chunk of our team has done it. They now have they've got their name and their two superpowers, and they're sharing each other's superpowers so that they can draw from each other's strengths. And it's absolutely a beautiful way to draw from each other and help each other grow. So
what was the name of that app for the superpower thing? Because that was really interesting.
There'll be some people on the call who don't know what you're talking about. So,
yeah,
so if you could explain.
So while you're looking that up, I'll just explain it. So Tyler mentioned there's this app, and you basically just enter. It's got a series of questions, and it will tell you what your superpower is. And it's let's see, I think your superpower was visionary, if I recall. Is that right?
Visionary and empathy. So my visionary was first, and then empathy.
Okay.
I have to find it, but as soon as I have, wait on. I'll put it up on here later once I've got the link.
On the chat box. Okay, because I haven't done that yet, but I intend to. I think it'd be a fun thing for all of us to do. The one thing I really grasped from you, and I saw with all the speakers from corporate, is they really talked about, they're making a bit of a shift to talk more about the opportunity, because that is such an important thing. I think it's the most important product that we've got. The health products are amazing, but the business opportunity to be able to create the freedom in people's lives, I think is such a powerful thing. And let's not be shy about sharing that, because we are in a growth phase. We're in a momentum phase in our business. So Sepp, thank you for coming on and sharing that with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I wanted to give the perspective. And one of the reasons that we're doing this is because not only to grasp the gold nuggets, the gems that we want you to implement in your business from the leaders, whether it's the Ambassador Diamonds and the Diamonds, but I brought on, we've got a couple people who are pretty much, or we've got a gentleman here who's brand new in the business. Clem, are you with us? There you are, Clem. Hey, we want to bring Clem on because he's basically
Good morning.
Brand new associate. And Clem made the big trip over from Perth to come to this event. I had a chance to talk with Clem at the back of the room there a little bit, and I could just tell he was inspired, he was motivated. We've had a few chats. Like all of us, Clem's had some ups and downs in his life, and I was truly excited. And I wanted to get your perspective from the standpoint of how important it is to make sure that you bring new people to these events. It's not for seasoned distributors, it's for prospects, it's for everybody. But I know that you were really quite moved from the whole event. Would you mind just taking a few minutes and sharing with us your perspective from a brand new person that's really just launching their business, just getting started?
Sure, okay. I come from a background of 40 years in trucking, and believe me, trucking is cutthroat, highly competitive, and the rates are so low because everyone competes with everyone. I've given work to my best mates, and they've then approached my suppliers of work and tried to take it off me. It's a really, really tough, hard business. I decided 12 months ago to go on a journey of self-discovery and reinvent myself. I found ASEA, the technology, purely by chance through YouTube. Was absolutely impressed by the science was compelling. So I was fortunate enough to meet Jeske in Perth in November. Told I wasn't interested in multi-level marketing, and I just wanted the product to basically for my own to maintain my capacity to continue to work hard, and I do. Anyway, I tested the product over the following 2 months. The product is just amazing. The gel, ASEA, has been transformative for me in many ways. However, I was holding back, and I decided to go to the Gold Coast because I thought, if I'm going to get involved in this and really throw myself into it, I want to know a lot more about the business, about the company, and about the participants. Any business, well, you know, IT might change this and is rapidly changing, I guess, but most businesses are really about the people, and this is a people business, more so than even than trucking. So I arrived at the Gold Coast. I've got to say, my impressions, the ethics, the ethos, the culture of this business is amazing. ASEA is not, you know, ASEA, the collective name for me, the brand is okay. These are great health products. There's a great business opportunity here, but ASEA is it's about the people, and the people are amazing. What really impressed me was the fact that I was sitting there looking at all these people like Mel Sword. G'day, Mel. I could relate to the story of many of the people who are high achievers. And Mel, when I first saw you come on stage, I thought you looked like a really, really slick new car, Mercedes-Benz salesman. I apologise, mate, because you're grassroots, and I take my hat off to you. And so where I'm going with this is that many of you have done extraordinarily well, high achievers, making a lot of money, but the absolute downright humility and open honesty just blew me away. And that's the whole organisation of ASEA, right from Tyler Norton, who is purely incredible, absolutely amazing, right down to, the directed 300s and 700s. Everyone I spoke to, I was quite absolutely impressed. Product is brilliant. I see this as an amazing opportunity, but like Mel, I'm going to have to get out of my own way, because I get so carried away, and I'm so into science and technology that I'm overselling the product, and I'm overselling the opportunity. So I've got to learn to chill a bit. But hey, guys, it's wonderful to be here. It's wonderful to have an opportunity to speak from the heart. And thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Bart. And yeah.
Thank you, Clem.
Let's go.
You know, I can hear the passion, enthusiasm, the commitment level. I know we chatted in the back of the room. You had said you made the decision. You're taking this thing all the way. You're out talking with people already. So there's nothing that can move people more than a big event like this. So thanks for jumping on the call. Appreciate you sharing a few minutes with us this morning, Clem. Thanks for getting up early.
You're welcome, and thank you very much. Bye, everybody.
Look forward to seeing more of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we wanted to get the perspective and the takeaway from Kevin Longley. Kevin was I'm not sure if his camera's working. He was having a little trouble with that earlier, but we might be able to just hear from Kevin. We'll see. But Kevin did an amazing job as our timekeeper, which is not that easy. Keep everybody
the most loved and most disliked person in the room.
I agree with that, Bart and Melissa. Thank you very much.
Hey, Kevin, I saw you on the leaderboard too, so you obviously left that event fired up. I know you've gotten some takeaways from it. Love you to just take a few minutes to just share what your takeaways were. What are the gold nuggets that you grasped that you're implementing in your business to make things happen, because you are moving your business forward. It's obvious, and really give our hats off to you. Or congratulate you for what you're doing.
Okay, thanks, Bart and Melissa. I'd just like to start off with what I have done going to these functions. Every little function I go to, I watch the leaders, not from afar, but pretty close actually. I try to implement what they do and say. Can you hear me all right there? Yeah?
We can.
Yeah, fantastic. So what I found was at these meetings, especially at the bigger functions, is I replace everything I write down with I am. When we see something on the big screens, I replace it with I am. I take responsibility for what I'm writing down. I believe I shared that with Melissa some time ago now, but I'd never ever had a chance to talk to her any further about it. I have found it very, very powerful for me. Basically, if you could imagine something on screen and it's saying, oh, it's a great photo there. I am. They say, oh, we will, we can. No, replace it when you're writing things down, replace it with I am going to be. I am going to achieve. Take ownership for it. But that's one thing I just wanted to touch on really quickly. But in relation to the functions, what I learned from Tyler is how to see and treat yourself, others, and this magnificent opportunity. The people I've spoken to of late, I go out just about every day now with the encouragement of Alan Fitzgerald. I make a point of going out and meeting 2 to 5 people a day. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Maybe I only meet 1, but 2 to 5 people. And I take my eyes off myself and I ask them, I feel for them. I want to know what they're all about. So basically, what I do is I feel, felt, found. I don't know if anyone's heard that before. I know how you feel. I felt the same way not so many years ago. But what I found was, so feel, felt, found. Mal or one of our leaders will, if we want to know more about that, can fill you in on that.
That's really powerful stuff, Kevin. And I love what you said about the I am. The I am statement is such a powerful statement, and I think declare it. Tell the universe in advance what you are. I am an ASEA Diamond. I am an ASEA presidential.
For sure, yeah.
And I am not going to be successful. I am successful. I am empower, inspire, motivate. I have an amazing team. So however you want to declare that, but declare it in the present tense. And,
that's right, yeah. Mal Sword is one of the most inspirational men I've ever met in my life. I'm only a young fellow myself. I'm only 57 years young. But I have never ever met a man like Mal Sword. I know we can go to the functions, but and promote these functions. Yes, I will promote them. Go to every single function, small, large, whatever it may be. But the major functions, hang around these people. Hang around the leaders. You can be introduced to them, even if it's a hello. They are real. They are, I think it says Sepp said, and Clem, sorry. They're just down-to-earth people. They're just like you and I. They bleed red. They bleed red. They breathe oxygen the same as you and I. They walk.
My mentor told me years ago, he said, if you want to catch the flu, you just hang around people that have the flu.
That's right, yeah.
You want to be successful, hang around people who are making things happen, who are successful, and that's what you're going to. That's what you're going to get. Hey, Kevin, we appreciate you jumping on this morning with us. Thanks for sharing.
No, you're welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
Hey, we just have 2 more people that we want to get the perspective of. The next one I'd love to hear from is Cristina Sword. Cristina is just an amazing speaker. You did just a phenomenal job on stage. You delivered your story. You spoke several times. And Cristina's Diamond level associate. She's building teams all over the globe, over in France and Spain. And we just love what you've done in terms of being an incredible leader. So,
and just to also point out, last year at the Peak Performance event in particular, Cristina was in the back of the room filming the entire thing, and this year she's dominating the stage. Some big shifts, and congratulations on your success.
One last thing I was going to say, if you're not on ASEA United on the Facebook group, again, ASEA United, thanks to Cristina, she filmed Tyler Norton. We'll actually have a professional recording of that, but in the meantime, his presentation that he did on the Saturday was quite remarkable. And thanks for filming that. I've gone through, watched that again, and taken very detailed notes. So, so you can find that on the ASEA United page. Anyway, I'd love to get your takeaways. Thank you so much for joining us. And then we're going to bring you back on in just a little bit to talk about trips too.
Look, thank you so much for having me on, and thank you so much for putting this on. It is really great to sort of relive the event and get everyone's takeaways. Thank you, Sepp, for the kind words about, what was it, being a dynamic speaker or something. It actually makes me incredibly nervous because I don't feel that way. And I think that really ties into my takeaway, because my takeaway for myself was, how do I want to live my life? You know, I really was very... I wanted to give more thought to that, because we have really strong goals. We go over our goals frequently. But this was for the first time an event where something finally clicked, the difference between the vision and the goals for me. And that was totally different. Because I do get nervous, I do get tired, I do sometimes think, you know, do I have the skill set? I don't make a phone call like Malcolm. I'm not, you know, as eloquent as Melissa. Like, I honestly, seriously have I have a tennis match with myself constantly. And what gets me through is the answer, having a really clear answer to that question: how do I want to live my life? And it seemed to be a really key highlight theme. I kept hearing that, you know, in everybody's talk, there was a lot about, you know, do you have clarity? Do you have, and we hear it a lot, but I'd really like to encourage everybody on this call to ask themselves the question, just like honestly answer this: do you have them written down, and are they somewhere visible? Because I know there's been times, even in leadership positions, where, you know, maybe I did goals like, you know, a year and a half ago, and I know they're in a cupboard somewhere. That's not having the dream right in front of you. So I'd also like to share with you what we did recently to go over our goals. And so we did a big list of everything that's important to us, and we didn't overthink it. We just made this big long list of, you know, this, we'd like that. It was like a shopping list for life, you know, just like, what would we want in this cart? And this big list sort of came together, and then we said, all right, well, let's refine it. Let's look at the themes that are in there. And from that, we came down to a shorter list, you know, that I'm happy to share in a moment. But also it came down to a mission statement. And I really think it's really beautiful. Our company obviously has a mission statement. But what is the mission statement for our family? Because it should really be serving as a compass. You know, it should really be something that helps to guide every action and helps us to understand if, you know, the reason we're getting up, the reason we're beating the fears, the reason we're reaching out to people. So in our case, once we looked at all our goals and looked at everything that we want to do, the family motto that we refined it to was to love and to serve. And the mission statement, to be a light where there is darkness, to see the magnificence in everybody and every day, to make memories and to make a difference, and to leave a legacy of love and service. And, you know, oh, thank you.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Well, that's okay. And, you know, it's fuel, isn't it? It's fuel for the tank. And of course, under there is a big long list of things like, you know, we'd like to have a house in the US and a house here in Australia that we own. We'd like to support all our kids' dreams. We'd like to help my father retire. We'd like to travel extensively. We'd like to help an orphanage in El Salvador. I'd like to spend some time with my writing career. I have that as a project I've currently shelved, but I'd really like to pursue that. There's personal goals for Matt on there as well. And of course, you know, the family goals to raise 6 extraordinary men of faith, principle, and purpose. And it excites me when I look at this list, because I think, you know, this isn't a dress rehearsal. This is it. Like, this is the life we've got. And with ASEA, we have a solution to the 2 biggest problems that most people face: financial problems and health problems. We have the solution in one bottle. And I guess the last thing I'll say as a takeaway is that I kept hearing, how do I want to live my life? The question I kept hearing wasn't, what rank do you want to be? You know, because sometimes when we are faced with, you know, so much about the levels and the next pin and the next rank, we think that that's goal setting. So when we say, have you got a goal set? And it can be like, yeah, platinum in June. But there's no emotion attached to that. And I had a big lesson the other day. I was doing a little coaching session with a friend of ours in Spain. And I said, all right, what's your next goal? And he said, I'd like to be platinum in June. And it was just kind of like robotic, platinum in June. I said, okay, but why? What does that mean? I said, let's bring up the income table. We looked at the income table and I said, what does $8,000 a month change in your life? And, lots, but let's describe it. When we started digging around, $8,000 wasn't motivating. Rank wasn't motivating. The rank of platinum wasn't motivating. But what was motivating is when he started talking about being able to help his dad who's elderly, being able to help his son with his education, finally getting the renovations done that he needed to do, finally taking a trip to one of these islands that he'd been dreaming of since he was in his 20s. When he actually started talking in this way, he got so emotional. And actually I did as well. Like, we connected on a human moment of, this is what matters to me, and we all need to know what matters to us. So now platinum means more, and I said, great, now let's dig into those goals. Let's put them somewhere where there's visible. Let's make them annoy you. I remember having a sign. I mean, for me, for us, it's all about the family. It's all about the family. And I remember having a picture of the kids right where I wake up, and on our run to Diamond having, you said you would do anything for them, so go Diamond. And I'd look at that and kind of go, oh man, like, absolutely, they're worth it. So put things in front, again, make them emotional, and have that vision, and then what rank you want to be, how many people you want to sponsor. That's the strategy. Those are the goals. But you need to have a vision. That's what needs to matter the most. Wow,
that was powerful stuff. I love the slide that you put up on your presentation with the bears.
Yeah.
And the rabbits.
Oh, yeah. No one get in the way, especially me. Me. I can't get in the way of what I need to do for those boys.
So when you put your why up there, I love what you said about keeping it visual, and your mission statement really was moving. In fact, if you don't mind, just putting that in the chat box would be beautiful, because I don't know about anybody else, but there was some good stuff there. I wouldn't mind.
There it is.
Inspirational. So that was fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing with us, and again, congratulations and well done on everything that you're doing. And yeah, that's right. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
So I wanted to. So we're going to move on to Amanda Bradford. Amanda and Robbie are just doing great things in their business. You would have seen them on the leaderboard there as well as we went through things. And in fact, we just got a call from Amanda and Robbie last night, or we
called you.
We called
and
you.
Hung up on you.
That's right. But you were just you were bouncing off the walls. You were so excited because things are really happening in your business. Lots of people that we weren't able to recognize on today's slide because the week hasn't finished, but we'll recognize them next week. But just doing great things. Congratulations, and we'd love to hear some of your takeaways, Amanda.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me on today. I really appreciated all the other panelists and what they've had to say. I've taken a lot of notes here. Envision, for us, it was phenomenal. It was the best year yet. What stands out to us the most was, I guess, the incredible unity and culture that this company, it's sacredly protecting that, and we see that each time that Tyler Norton and corporate get up and share. And I think that's really important to keep that during this time of growth, or this growth for the company. So what's really interesting for us is that there is an atmosphere of building up one another, and that's been proven throughout our team from the beginning. But Envision has shown us the power of events. What an amazing opportunity it is for people to, like I've heard, I think Mel say, take a peek under the tent and have a look for themselves at not only the technology, but the company that's behind it. For those that are looking at it from a business perspective, how much would you pay a professional, an accountant, solicitors, to take a look at the books of the business that you were considering? Envision, I believe, is an extremely affordable option to be able to do your due diligence and meet these people. It's also very inspiring. Our team just loved the Friday. That just set the scene and opened up everyone's hearts to be able to take in the rest of the weekend. It also gives people an opportunity to see what they may want to give, or why they may want to give their own time and their energy into this cause, and also into the possibility of being able to create their own dreams along the way. I just want to acknowledge our team. I'm very proud of them. They are motivated to be a force for good on a daily basis. They take this to their people that they know with integrity and care. And over the last 2 weeks since Envision, we had over 30 people attend from our team. And within the last 2 weeks, there have been 12 rank advancements, 27 enrolments. And I would like to acknowledge everyone for their hard work, their contribution, their rank advancements. And there's one lady in particular that's been with the company now for about a year. She's been through a fight for her life, and she's incorporated ASEA into her protocols. And this lady came along to Envision, and is she on there? Yeah, this lady came along to Envision. She came away from it with a fire in her belly. She posted a picture of herself as receiving her Director 300 pin after Envision, 2 days after Envision, and she made a decision that she wanted to go bronze by today. So I'd like to introduce to you Janelle Ware. She has taken all-out massive action, and I'm proud to say that she is now a bronze executive.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you, Amanda. Congratulations, Janelle.
Janelle, are you there? Hello, Janelle, are you there? Oh, you're muted.
Let me see. Maybe you can't speak right now. Let's see.
Let's see. We can see you, but we cannot hear you.
We can't unmute you either.
Maybe take your headset out, Janelle.
Amanda, why don't you share a little bit more of her story with us while she's figuring out.
Yeah. So Janelle has, sorry.
I was just going to say, what an incredible accomplishment, because the Envision conference was how many weeks ago? Just 2 weeks.
2 weeks, and if I'm correct.
Bravo, Janelle. I'm sorry, we still can't hear you. We really wanted to hear your enthusiasm, excitement, but we just, unfortunately, we can't hear you. But we'll have to bring you on to hear a few things from you on a call. But we just want to acknowledge and congratulate you. Thank you so much. And really, the amazing thing here and the reason I wanted to bring you on, that we wanted to bring you on last, Amanda, is because you really understand the power of these events, and you've seen that power, and you've seen a major shift. Your business has really just taken off, and because people really do get big visions at these events. And you and Robbie are doing amazing things, going out and doing the meetings, really taking leadership. And by the way, you were incredible on stage too in the women's panel. So beautiful job. And so thank you again, and thank you, Janelle, for joining us. And sorry we just can't hear you, but we definitely a big shout out to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you to Robbie too. So I think that's all you have for...
Yeah, so we're going to, Melissa's just going to do a screen share here. And what we want to do is to get into something really powerful. I hope that you guys have taken some notes, because there have been some fantastic nuggets of wisdom that we wanted to share with you. And what we're going to do now is we're going to move into scripting. Yeah.
Actually, we were going to talk just very briefly. As Amanda's transitioning us into the power of events, there's early bird tickets for next year, 2020 Envision, and the half day training with Tyler as well on Friday the 28th, and of course the full day training Saturday the 29th. Go to ASEA-events.com and make sure you pick up your savings of nearly 50%, your tickets for US $69 now, and make a declaration and buy some for your team and encourage them to do the same. We're in the process of lining up a very exciting speaker as well for the Peak Performance Training Day for next year. But as you've heard from Mel, the goal is to absolutely get as many people as possible to these events, because they're the best way possible to build your business.
We have nearly had as many people already register for next year as many that attended. So look, we'd love to have, we have about close to 600 people at this one. Next year, I anticipate that we can have at least 1,500 people. So, so let's promote this early, promote it now, and get people there. They're already making a year commitment to build their business. Also the Peak Performance. By the way, Tyler is going to do another Ethos training next year also on the Friday. We've found, so he's going to duplicate that based on popular demand, you might say.
And only $49, a saving of 50% for the early bird tickets for the Peak Performance Training. And that site to get tickets is ASEA-events.eventbrite.com.au. You can also get tickets through redoxdiamonds.com, and there's also a Facebook page, ASEA AU Diamonds Facebook page you can get tickets from too. But
if you want to keep
save this date.
Yeah, if you want to keep it simple, redoxdiamonds.com. All the events are there, particularly, and also for the quarterly events that we'll talk about later. But a lot of people are purchasing 10, even 20 tickets and just saying, you know what, I'm making the decision. I'm bringing a team with me, just like Amanda talked about, so that you're already making the preparation and making the decision, because that's going to help move your business forward too. So
absolutely
easy. All right. What we want to do now, let's see, this is the, yep. So Mel, I want to bring you back on, because something very important that I've heard people talk about or asking me is, what do you say to people? Now, there's, you know, I learned a long time ago, if you want to be successful, you find the most successful people and you duplicate what they've done. Mal, you've definitely lead with the business. I know that you said that products don't move people, people move people. And so you approach this from a business standpoint to begin with. And I'd love to bring you on and just talk about scripting, you know, some of the scripts that you use, what you say to people as they're getting started. And I know that you make a lot of calls with or even for people. So are you there, Mel?
I'm here, yep.
Just for the record, Mel, I would definitely buy a Mercedes from you.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting when I heard that. I kind of interesting comment, and you know, I like listening to these comments as a point of reflection, and but anyway, it's interesting. So yeah, thanks, Clem. It was interesting, but hopefully, I wouldn't like to come across like a Mercedes salesman, because I'm sure they're very good and they're very competent, and I'm sure many of them are very nice, and they're certainly dealing with a lovely product.
You're welcome, Mel.
Thanks, Clem. Thank you. Appreciate it. Just out of interest, how long have I got for this little section?
How long do you need?
Well, probably just 5 minutes. But there's a couple of things that I want to just share with people as well, because I've been doing this now for a long time. I won't bore you with the background, but when I started in the insurance business back in long time ago, 1980. Wow. I was green. I was young, and when I started the insurance business, I knew nobody in Queensland. And they passed me the yellow pages, and they said, this is what they said to me. They said, go stir up some dust, mate. Here's the yellow pages. Get into it. And so everything I did was cold contacting, and I was petrified, absolutely mortified. And, you know, but I had a young wife at that stage, and if I didn't make those calls, she didn't eat, and she probably wouldn't have, because it was all commission. So I had to learn very quickly how to get on the phone and how to become competent. And I learned a lot. I have made thousands upon thousands upon thousands, probably tens of thousands of calls over the years. Let me just give you a few keys I think will help you. When you make phone calls, the best thing to do is to stand up and not sit down. If you sit down, you restrict your lungs. A lot of people get very nervous when they make these phone calls. And so, there's Janelle now. Finally, hi, Janelle. Yeah. So stand up. I remember doing a phone session for a mate of mine years ago, and I was helping him in the insurance business. And he sat down and he started going white. The blood was draining away from his face. And I said, "You okay?" And I thought he was going to pass out, poor fella. And so I learned, you know, over the years, best to stand up, put air in your lungs. Also, the other thing is have the phone underneath you. So when you're making your phone calls, it gives you the authority if you can kind of stand up. I always do my phone calls standing up. I like to walk around. I like to be animated. So I have my phone on speakerphone a lot of the time. Sometimes I've got a headset on, but I like to have the phone underneath me. So it gives me mentally some kind of power over the telephone. I think these are important things to realize, because most of us get nervous when we make calls and we're contacting people we don't know. We get a little bit apprehensive. And so it's really good to give yourself the power to at least have some more confidence. Before I begin a phone session, I would encourage people that are relatively new to the business to listen to something powerful, motivating, inspiring, to kind of, puff you up a little bit, get your confidence and get your energy levels up. And that's a really good thing to do, because you want to get your butterflies flying in formation when you get on the phone and do these phone calls. So you want to do that if it helps you to kind of puff you up. The other thing I do when I do a phone session, I have a period of time that I do it. So I like to do a phone session for about an hour and a quarter. It takes quite a lot of energy from me to do it, take a lot of energy from you. So I structure it to take an hour and a quarter. When I'm doing a phone session for people, one of the questions I ask them is, what are we here to do? And they'll say, well, we're here to book meetings, or we're here to get information out. And that's nondescript. It doesn't give the brain a target. So I will give myself a target. In an hour and a quarter, my mission is to have 6 meetings set up, or 6 people that in the hour and a quarter say, yes, I want to receive some information. I'd like to listen to a webinar. I want to know more about what you're dealing with. So I have a very specific target. Every time I go to a phone session, I have an objective, I have a goal. It's important, I think, to have these things. Otherwise, you go and you say, what's the target? Oh, well, I don't know, just to try and connect with somebody. But everything I do is with specific intent, even on a phone session, especially on a phone session, because this is where the business begins. No phone calls, no business. If you're not connecting with people, if you're sitting at home waiting for the phone to ring, it's not going to happen. It won't happen. Wish it did, but it's never happened for me. Probably not going to happen for you either. So these are things that are important. Set a goal, have a goal, a very clear mindset as to what you want to accomplish. My phone call, as you know, is very much about the business. Now, I'll go through it. So my response is to find a business builder, because I know that a business builder is going to get the product, the technology out to everybody. So if he knows people are unwell, he's going to take the business, he's going to take the technology to those people anyway. So let me just walk through it. Every phone call I make is a little bit different. So let me just read my version, because I know that sometimes it gets diluted a little bit along the way. So I wrote it out this morning, and this is pretty much exactly what I'm saying. So let's say I'm making a third-party call for Bill Jackson. So he's an associate that I'm working with, if he was, and I'm calling John Blackburn. And so my phone call goes like this: good afternoon. May I speak with John Blackburn, please? And the answer will come: hi, this is John. Good afternoon, John. My name is Mel Sword. You and I have not actually met, but I'm a friend and business associate of Bill Jackson. And John will normally say, terrific, great. How's John? I say, yep, John's doing really well. Thank you for asking. I'll say, okay, Bill's really well. So John, the reason for my call today, it's important that you clarify why you're calling. John, the reason for my call today is that Bill and I are launching a very exciting technology into the Australian markets, both into Australia and also a number of the Asian countries. I don't use the word product there. I use technology. And I use specific words, the key words, I think. Then I go on to say, this is a cellular health technology called redox signaling molecules, which I don't expect that you've heard of yet. And they'll say, no, I've never heard of it. I might say, terrific, that's where the opportunity lies. Many leading scientists are hailing this technology as one of the most significant medical breakthroughs in our lifetime. John, commercially, the company reached US $120 million of turnover in 2018. And that was an increase in turnover of 53% in the 1 year. And we are forecasting that we will take this company to $1 billion of turnover in the next 4 to 5 years. And we're looking for some key people to help us to drive this technology to the market. And here's the $1 million question. Everything you say in the preamble is to get to this one question. John, may I ask you, John, may I ask you, are you open to looking at other income options? So you'll notice through the call, I haven't mentioned product. I don't dive into that. I'm talking technology. I'm talking breakthrough. I'm talking opportunity. I'm talking vision. I want to create in their mind that this is a very significant opportunity. But if they're not looking for an opportunity, they're not looking for me and I'm not looking for them. I'm not going to talk them into it. I want their response to be, yes, absolutely, I'm looking. In which case, then my preferred option is to meet with them. I mix it up for me because I have a very low boredom threshold. I get bored really easily. And so, but often I like to make a meeting. If I'm talking to somebody who's in Brisbane, I'm going to make a meeting, go and see them personally, or I'll send them the link to a live webinar, or I'm going to send them some links, some emails if they're in a different state or a different country. So if he says yes, that's what I'm going to do. If he says no, then I'll say, terrific, no problem. Thank you, John. May I ask you another question? Do you know anybody personally, a close family member or friend who is really struggling with a major health challenge? Because I have something that I believe will be of help to them, and I would love to send you some information if you do. And often they will say, not often, so let's say 3 times out of 10, if they said no to the business, they say, as a matter of fact, I do. And I say, may I send you some information that you can forward on to them? I think it'll be helpful for them. So it's not that I don't want to have that conversation, but the conversation that I want to have is to find the builders, because it's the builders that are going to get this to take this company to $1 billion, not customers. We won't drive this company to $1 billion with customers. Doesn't matter how many we have. It's going to be too slow. And at my age, I'm 44 now. It's, I needed to build it quickly.
By the way,
I don't have multiple scripts. I only have one script. I teach that. I duplicate it. I teach my new people. I do phone sessions with people. If Bart and Melissa, if Bart, you and my new guy, the first thing I do, the first meeting I'm going to do is to get you to bring your list. You and I are going to sit down for an hour and a quarter. I'm going to make the calls. I want you listening to the calls. Then I'm going to pass the phone. I'll make 4 or 5 calls. I'll pass the phone over to you. You'll make an absolute mess of it. And I want you to know you made a mess of it, so you'll start listening more. You've got to learn the script. You've got to have a script, not just for you, but for the duplication. Remember, a business like this is teachers teaching teachers to teach, to teach, to teach. You build organizations like this on duplication, not on what you do. If it's just on what you do, you got a high-paying job. This is about teaching leaders to teach leaders to teach leaders to teach leaders. The whole business, in my opinion, starts with a phone contact. It starts with a phone call, in my opinion. I know a lot of people talk about social media and that kind of thing, but I'm not very good at that.
Well, that was really brilliant stuff. Some key things that were really takeaways from what you said was really get your posture down right. Do something, whether it's listening to something that really uplifts you, or music can really do that too. Song that really inspires you, get into state, stand up when you're talking. I think that's really brilliant. So you've got a specific outcome that you're looking for in terms of meetings, appointments. Brilliant input. I love that. And
I loved when you said, Mel, that you have intention behind everything you do, because you're certainly going to increase the certainty of that happening if you carry the intention going into it. So
yeah, it's exactly like a lot of people say to us when we engage with them, what would you like to do with a business? And they'll say, well, I want to be financially free. It has no meaning. It's nondescript. You can't clarify what that means. It's like Cristina was saying, well, I want to be platinum. But what does it mean for you? Everything needs to have clarity of thought as to why I'm doing this, and every little step. In my own opinion, personally, the organizations, great organizations, are creating by having a very good script, a phone script that is duplicatable, that everybody can do, and this works. This phone script, it works. And I'm happy to share it with everybody, because my mission is to help Vertis, and your mission is to help Vertis get this to $1 billion while he's still here. Passion for many of us to help him to do that. So I think this script will help a lot of people. The script needs to be pretty quick too. You want to have a phone call of about a minute. You don't want to buy into too long. You don't want to try and sell anybody anything on the phone. We're not in the sales business. We're in the business of creating organizations. We are not a sales business. We're not. Yeah.
So when they said, are you open to other income options? And they say, well, yeah, I am. Where would you take it from there? What would be the next step for you?
So what I normally would say to them is, terrific. What I'd like to do is to sit down with you for 30 to 40 minutes. In sales, we used to be taught the alternate close, like is Tuesday good or is Thursday better? You can use that. I don't. I'm just so busy that that they'll have to work around my time now, which is kind of good posture. And so I don't, it's like I want them to know that I'm really busy, not in an arrogant way. Please don't misunderstand that, but I am actually very busy, and that my time is valuable, and I've got certain time slots. But when I was first starting in sales, they would taught me use an alternate choice close. John, is Tuesday afternoon at 3 going to suit you, or would Thursday be better at 5 o'clock in the evening? In other words, it invokes a yes response. I would rather get together with people because I like eyeballing people. I like them to see me. I like them to see my eyes. I like to see their eyes. I like that, whatever, interaction. I think that's what I'm looking for, interaction. But if they're interstate, then I'm going to either send them to a live stream webinar. We've got some awesome live stream webinars we can plug them into, or I'm going to send them over standard email. But here's the thing, if I send them an email, I'm going to ask them, I said, John, will you have a chance to listen to this information tonight? If I send it to you today, will you have a chance to listen to it? And if he says no, I said, okay, when might you have a chance to listen to this information, to listen to the links? I'll say, well, tomorrow afternoon. Terrific. May I call you back tomorrow afternoon? Or I'll say, let me call you back tomorrow afternoon. Those are very key words. Let me call you back. Let me, because it's giving me authority, but it's permission. Let me call you back tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, and I will answer any questions that you might have, and then we will go on to the next step from there. So everything I do is meeting to a meeting to a meeting. I'm lining up the follow-up ahead of time. So it's very important to book a meeting from a meeting to a meeting. In everything I do, from a phone call to a meeting, everything I have a follow-up. I was taught this very early in my career. Always book a meeting from a meeting. When I enroll a new person, here's the next step. Here's the next step. They are looking to me for leadership. But invariably, the first thing I'm going to do is get onto their list. Because here's what happens. Who's the best person to make those phone calls? My new guy or me? And a lot of people will say, well, the new guy. So what's he going to say on the phone? Oh, g'day, Bill. How's your dog? Yeah, good. Good, mate. Dogs are good. Yeah, and how's Kath? Yeah, Kath's really good. How was Christmas? Yeah, good. Really good, mate. Kath is really good. Christmas is great. And oh, listen, by the way, have you heard of something called, what's it called again? Have you heard of redox stuff, redox signaling stuff? You've heard of that, mate? No, I've never heard of it, mate. Oh, would you like to? No, not really, mate. No, thanks very much. Oh, okay, we'll see you later. And you've lost, not only is he's kicking off his best prospects, but you're going to lose your guy. You're going to lose him. The poor little rabbit, he doesn't know what to say, and he's petrified. So what I do is get him with me. I'll teach him. I'll show him. I'll train him. I'll teach him. You've got to have a script. I should be able to phone him at 3 o'clock in the morning. John, you left me a message. And he goes straight into script. Thanks for returning my call. John, the reason I'm calling is that Bill and I are in the process of launching this amazing technology into the Australasian market. Here in Australia and also in Australia, you should know it off the top of your head, off by heart. Then you've got power. When you've got power in your script, you've got confidence. When you've got confidence, you can teach it. When you've got confidence, you'll get results. But don't leave your poor little bunny to make those phone calls. He's going to get slaughtered. He's going to be slaughtered. And he won't make it, poor fella. Poor people. You're leaving them. No, you make the phone calls. No. I'll help him. Now, I'll do 1, 2, or 3 phone sessions with him. But also, here's another key. His top 40 people, his top 40 prospects, I want to be able to communicate with those top 40 prospects, not him. He doesn't, he's going to lose the top 40 prospects. On every list you've got, if you're not doing that, you're going to lose some of the best quality prospects. You're going to let them slide away. And that's you don't want to be doing that. You want to get to those top prospects yourself. So I do a lot of work on the phone, a lot.
Well, that's brilliant. Mal, I would say you probably have the fastest growing organization in all of ASEA right now. Things are really happening. You've done a brilliant job, and it's obvious to see why. This script that we put up here on the slide is very close to what you said. You've just some minor modifications that you've made. So I hope you grabbed a screenshot of that, or obviously this is being recorded as well. Several people have asked. So love it, Mal. I love booking a meeting from a meeting. That's perfect. So asking permission if you can call them back. Really appreciate you going through that with us. It's really important stuff. And so what we'd like to do now, if it's all right, is we go ahead and switch over to Cristina Sword. She's learned from the as Stevie Ocklin would say, the sword master himself. But Cristina has a little bit more of a softer approach, maybe a little bit more of a female approach, perhaps. Sometimes, and Cristina, I know that you've got several scripts that we've got here on the slides for as well. Love to get your perspective, because I know that you've learned and taken some advice from Mel, and you come with just a little bit different approach, which is similar to what Mel's done. But we'd love to get your scripts and your take on that too, if you'd be kind enough to share that with us.
Look, the truth is I've taught Malcolm everything he knows. I don't know if Malcolm would say that my approach is a softer approach, but thank you, Bart. Look, I just have a different approach. And obviously, obviously we do learn a lot from Malcolm. And I think what's important to know is that if you spoke to 10 diamonds or 10 ambassadors, everybody's got a little bit of a different way of doing it. But there are some clues and some consistent themes across the way that things do work. But not to have a freak out or a panic if you're not doing things exactly to the script of Danny or exactly the way that Malcolm's doing it. Because even those two very successful men have a slightly different phone call. And there are several ways up the mountain, but there are some principles to climb the mountain. And the main thing is, in my opinion, is to have a script that's solid. You'll know pretty soon if it's working or not. To have a script, you need to have one. You can't just sort of jump in and bounce around. You need to have one. Take something like Malcolm's scripts or some of the ones that we're about to share here. Make it your own. Own it, know it. Like Mel said, someone's got to call you at 3 a.m. You should know it. Also, the other principle is this script should be something you do often. You've got to be doing it every day. You've got to get to a point where it doesn't matter, if it's your one phone call of the month, you're gonna pass out because it's so important. You've got to be making a whole bunch of calls. And if you're getting started, I recommend that you just put it down a blitz of activity. And also, find out what works for you in terms of your confidence. I know for me, like Mel, I need to pace around, but I also want to be busy. A lot of the time, honestly, I'm folding laundry, I'm sweeping the floors, I'm making lunch boxes. And for me, that works because I even feel that I transmit the whole, I'm not standing in a room, with the sweat dripping down on the floor. I'm doing my life and I'm communicating with somebody. Last night, I made several phone calls from the kids' football game, just off to the side in the car park. And I like being busy doing life, so that I don't stress out so much. I think the other things that are important to note here, I made some notes here. For me, I don't make a call that is like a cold call, okay? And this is different. I make those calls a little bit warmer by having my prospect that I'm working with do a lead-in first. So I agree totally that you can't just have your prospect get on the phone and start talking about this technology to new people, because they are going to get blown out, and they don't have the skills yet to do it. So personally, let's say that we have somebody that's just come on board and they've said, I want to get started, but I want to try the product first. We get those, don't we? I want to try the product first and see how it goes. Well, with those people, I say to them, and that's great, but in order to try the product properly, you're not going to ask one person if they like the movie. You're going to ask 10 people if they like the movie. So we're going to get into your immediate circle of people who have needs, health needs, and we're going to let them know that you're looking at a business, that you're looking at an opportunity, and you'd like for them to help you try the technology. So even though they're really just using the product, I've already actually got them contacting, but I'm going to get them just to set up the phone calls for me, because I absolutely believe that this is a face-to-face, phone call to phone call business. But how we get to that phone call can be different, a little bit different. So if it's a health conversation, because they're trying the product first, it'll be something like, "Hi, Amy, how have you been? I hope you don't mind me reaching out, but I can see, on Facebook or whatever, that you're still struggling with arthritis. The reason that I'm calling is because I came across something really interesting and I thought of you immediately. Have you heard of redox signaling, Amy?" "No, I haven't." "Well, look, it's a very new field of progressive medicine. A US lab's found a way to make the molecule our body uses for healing. A friend of mine, Bart, Kotter, he's a specialist. He works with people all around the world. I've seen them getting great results. Honey, would it be okay if I put you guys in touch to see if it can help? Right? So that's a script that I give to my new person. That's simple. I mean, I know that not everybody picks up the phone these days. It's unfortunate, but that's short enough to be a text message. It can be a reach out on Facebook. And all we're doing here, we're not explaining the opportunity by text. I don't think that works. All we're doing here is setting up the phone call. So from here, we get the person on the other end saying, oh, geez, yeah, thanks, Bart. Maybe why not? It's worth a shot. Then you, as my new guy, send me a message and go, yep, we're set up for 10 a.m. on Tuesday. I let her know that we'll give her a call. So now I've got the opportunity to get on the phone and I can pick up the phone and go, hi, Anne. It's really great to be meeting you. I'm so sorry you're dealing with what you're dealing with. Bart tells me it's been a long struggle. Tell me a little bit more about it and I can tell you what we have on our hands and why I believe it could be a solution for you. So that's my health approach. I'm not doing this to build a business. I'm doing this to get into people's initial immediate circle of friends that might need to get hold of the technology.
That's great. I'm just going to suggest if you're listening to this, you might want to grab a screenshot of some of these. There's some brilliant ideas here. I love that health, that health approach.
And then moving on to the business approach, and I'd like to say that I really don't feel that it needs to be one or the other. I believe Mal would agree with me with this, that we can't just stop talking about the product if we're doing a business contact. If you look at Mal's script, there really is a lot about the technology, disruptive, market-changing, breakthrough. The business is an exciting opportunity. It's as compelling as it is because the product that we have, the technology that we have, is so unique. You can't really separate one from the other. So you can't just start making a call without mentioning the breakthrough and only talking, let's make money together. I think we fall then into a gap of just being everybody else. The opportunity is good, is incredible here because we have something breakthrough. So I think that marriage needs to stay in there. And it does in Mal's script. So again, I'm not leaving my new guy to go and make the phone call to explain what we have on their hands, but I am going to get that guy to do some legwork and set up some phone calls for me. And I want to see them show up to the party a little bit as well. Just like Mal brings the people around to start making some calls, I want to see my new guy is getting out there a bit and doing some work. Now I give them this script or a version of this script, and I would say to Bill, who's my new guy in this case, you don't get into explaining to it. You don't change this. This is you. You know how in Hitch they go, this is you. You move from here to here. This is you. This is all you say. I don't care how you say it. You can write it on the side of a donkey. You can send it on a text. You can call people, but this is your script. And the next bit, it's going to be me, and you're going to hear me do the next bit a billion times. So he's going to reach out to his contacts. Let's say they've got someone in Florida. Hi, Amy, how you been? Hope the kids are good. I hope you don't mind me reaching out to you. A friend of mine, Cristina, is looking to expand her business into Florida and is looking for some introductions. She's in the health space. They've got something very interesting in cellular health. I might throw something in there like it's unique, category creator, patented. I've had a look at it and it's truly exciting. Christina's not looking for capital, just local connections as they open new doors. Or the other line that I say in there is they're looking to engage with individuals who could recognise the commercial significance of this breakthrough. Now that's another line that works, I'm finding works really well. So they're looking to connect with local visionaries who can appreciate the commercial opportunity of this breakthrough and want to participate. So he's not going to ask anything else or tell them any more information. Is it okay if I put you guys in touch? As we said with Malcolm's call before, you need to have an aim. You need to have like a what's next from this contact. And in this situation, when they're creating those warm leads, the aim is just to get them in front of me. Is it okay if I put you guys in touch? And honestly, we have a very good success rate with this. It's usually, again, probably three in 10 will say, yeah, sure, sounds interesting. Happy for her to give me a call when works. So then I'll call them or reach out to them. From there, Bill will get in touch with me and say, Amy's keen. She's right for Tuesday. And that's how I move into the phone call. So now we're on a three-way. We've ended up back at the same place, but just a little bit differently. And I'll call and I'll say, Amy, thanks so much. It's really great to be here, having a chat to you. Let me tell you what we have on our hands. And I'll come back around to the same question that Malcolm asked, which is, I'll explain to her what we have, and I'll say, Amy, are you open to additional income streams?
I love this script. It's a great way for people to go ahead and just set the stage to introduce you. That third-party validation, having a third-party expert come in, and this is how your new person is setting you up as being that expert. So it's fantastic. I love that approach. I think it's interesting too. Quite often, people in the beginning, they're so excited about it's scary. Sometimes there's more fear involved with approaching someone about a business than about the product. And when people can make that transition, it really just, they see their business, shift, and things start moving a little more because people are excited. They're more interested in investing more interested in making money than they are just spending it. So when they can be investing in their health as well as a business, I think that really does make a shift and helps things to really move forward. So
exactly. And it doesn't need to be like this kind of softer entry. Well, it's not softer, but this other entry is a way that you can connect with somebody you haven't spoken to in 15 years. Truly, you just have to own what you feel the barrier is. Like, hi, Amy, how you been? I know we haven't spoken in 15 years, but and then go on to it. Yeah,
you're right. My comment about softer is probably not right. Just a different approach.
No, sorry, no. What I mean.
Well, because Mal's a big teddy bear anyway, so.
That's true.
Righto.
So, hey, look, one thing I just remember my mentor from years ago said, anything worth doing well is worth doing poorly first.
Absolutely.
So you just got to jump in and get your feet wet and make some of these phone calls. But I love this script because it's very easy and it does set up an introduction. So that's great. And I think we've got another one here too, don't we?
Look, this is, if people want to take a screenshot, I won't go through it because I know the time, but this is an expansion of that. If that person wants to get on the phone, again, it's just you're making an introduction. It can be she's looking to connect with health practitioners or she's looking to connect with business people, whatever that person is. Identify the reason why you reached out to them. If you want to say more about what we have on our hands, you could say, she's a specialist in a really progressive field. They have a heavily patented breakthrough product with applications across blah, 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 blah. Sometimes I add, of course, these are billion-dollar markets, and our rollout is very exciting. We're looking to connect with people who can appreciate the commercial opportunity of this technology. You might go to the next one, Bart, because I think that's what I've just expanded on. So there it is. The technology is heavily patented, groundbreaking, and holds massive commercial opportunities, blah, blah, blah. It's really just what I'm looking is for people to help me build a bridge. And again, if somebody's putting up their hand to say, I want to build a successful business, I want them to have some skin in it. I'm not going to do everything for them. They're going to make some calls. They're going to do some reach outs. What I think is important is to set a target of how often this is happening. I think the biggest fault that we all make, the biggest mistake we all make, is we just don't do enough. We assume that we will make 3 phone calls, and I see it just all the time. People stop and kind of look back to see what's going to happen with those 3 phone calls, and is their ambassador in there before they make another 3? And it's not going to happen. There's always going to be a 3-week lag between starting to see some results. It's absolutely for sure. But a lot of people stop after the first week. They're like, wow, I'm so exhausted. Let's see if I go platinum. And then because they don't, they never continue that momentum. You've got to go make a mess, not be concerned about the results. The results will come when there is enough volume, and every single phone call, there's not one of them that matters any more than another. Because the guy that you think's the doctor that's going to make your business, he's just as likely to be less important than a guy you met at the park who's got a big dream in his heart. No one's really that important. As long as you continue to put that volume of consistent effort in, the results will come to the top.
That is fantastic. Absolutely golden.
Very insightful and inspirational and very duplicatable. So thank you, Cristina.
No worries. Pleasure.
I think that's the last script, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
So really appreciate both you and Mel sharing that valuable input. Really good stuff. I hope you've all been taking some notes and grabbing some great ideas, grabbing some screenshots of these. And again, this is all recorded too.
Yeah, so we'll get this recording out as well on social media. So thank you again, Cristina.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me and for trusting me. I hope some of that's helped.
Oh, it sure has. So thank you. So what we want to do now is move on to the new Australia-New Zealand promotion. It's only for these 2 countries. It was officially launched today, but it went online live yesterday. So it's a matter of you just understanding the intricacies of it so that you can promote it to your team. And because it's just a 2-month promotion, you don't want to be understanding this next week or the week after. You need to be able to understand it now so you can run with it now and make sure your team fully understand it. So
anybody on this call like free stuff? Free is my favorite prize. I love that. This promotion is fantastic because, again, it just rewards us for doing what we want to do anyway.
Yeah, and it's in our virtual office as well, for those of you.
That's right. So get this. So here's the promotion. When you enroll someone, and obviously we want to set them up for success by making sure they're on the product for at least 90 days, and then also benefiting from the loyalty program, which ASEA has set up. So when you help them enroll with at least 1 case of ASEA, so at least 100 points, you help them set up an auto ship and they complete 3 auto ship orders of at least 100 points. Then they are rewarded with 100 loyalty points. So that's basically $200 worth of free product that they get for simply staying on auto ship for 3 months. It's perfect. So this is the time to reach out to people that maybe you've approached and said, hey, here's a great time to get started and get set up, and you're going to end up with a couple $100 of free product for just being on it. So that's perfect. Go to the next slide. So the other thing is that this isn't only for your new people, you're going to benefit too. So when you're a new person, when you're following up with them and making sure that they're staying on the product, that they're completing their auto ships for these 3 times, then what happens is for each person that completes and achieves that, you also get 20 loyalty reward points. So you help 5 people do that, that's an extra case of product for free. You help 10 people do that, that's 200 loyalty reward points, or 2 cases of product for free too. So everybody wins. It's a great win-win. It's a perfect opportunity to create a little bit more momentum. And then just a couple highlights on the promotion rules. This is for Australia and New Zealand. So if you're listening anywhere else around the world, sorry.
Your countries, your regions may have a similar promotion coming up as well. So, yeah.
But also I wanted to let you know that this is also for preferred customers as well as associates. So preferred customers are half the points. So it'd be 50 loyalty reward points, but I got that confirmed yesterday. I just wanted to make sure that there was some clarity on that. Also, you receive your 20 loyalty reward points for each person when they get paid theirs. So you need to make sure that's when you achieve that. And the only thing that people have to pay for is the shipping. So the shipping cost is it, and then you get the product. The next thing is there's no volume on the loyalty reward points. Obviously, that's free product, so we don't get points for that. And this also does include the NFR products, which would, of course, be the ASEA Via. So when you set someone up, if you enrolled them, and let's say that they just wanted to be on the ASEA Via, that was what their auto ship is, you've got 24 hours to go back in your back office, go into and set up an NFR.
Is it 24 hours or the close of business?
The close of business the next day. And that goes by U.S. time, Eastern Standard Time. So you've got basically 1 day to make sure that you set up the auto ship template on that. So that's how they track that. And I believe, that's the highlights on it. So a very simple promotion, perfect time to just say, let's go ahead and go for it. Let's see how many people. Let's put in 10 people in the next 30 to 60 days and benefit on all that and set them up properly.
So as Bart mentioned, the real key here is it's rewarding enrollments, but it's also rewarding you supporting your team as well. So it's brilliant. We are working with corporate on getting more of these promotions. Obviously, we don't know when they'll come out or how long they'll last for. So absolutely make the most of it because it can build some really phenomenal momentum in your business. More details go into your ASEA virtual office if you're in Australia and New Zealand, and it's all held there in your library as well. So we're just going to move really quickly with the time we have left through the remaining slides, which mostly go over upcoming events. But we just want to remind you all to make sure that you're enrolling your new associates with one of these amazing enrolment packs. And the business ASEA pack and the business pack seem to be the ones that are the most commonly ordered and the most successful. And remember, they go up with loyalty points. So
actually, we got a lot of people coming in with entrepreneur packs because you're immediately starting. There's huge savings by doing that. You're immediately starting at 15% loyalty benefit, end up with 150 loyalty reward points. So that's a case and a half of free product just for doing that. So big advantages. I guess the point is to make sure that you set people up for success and show them the bigger vision, the bigger picture. Not only does that help them, but it certainly helps you not only with commissions, but volume and rank advancements and everything else.
Yeah, and what you do is what your team will do. So we came in with an entrepreneur pack, which was just renewed 28 a few years ago. So what you do will be duplicated out. And here is the USA packs for the people in the United States on the line this afternoon. So it includes ASEA VIA, which is brilliant. We'll be there soon, hopefully also in Australia, to have ASEA VIA included in our packs.
And if you're in one of the other countries, Singapore or Hong Kong or Thailand, Taiwan, wherever you're at, those loyalty or those packs will be slightly different.
Yeah, and in your virtual office. This is just a recap to let you know how you can earn loyalty reward points. So, of course, we've seen through the Fast Forward and the Fast Forward Plus promotions, also through this new $199 AU free product promotion as well. Of course, it's with AutoShip. Your loyalty points grow with time. The enrollment packs we've just seen earn loyalty reward points depending upon the volume in the packs. And the first auto ship order gets bonus points as well. So ASEA loves to reward us with free products, and we absolutely enjoy receiving it. So make sure you understand this program and your new associates understand loyalty reward points as well. So let's just have a look for the March events. Of course, today in Taiwan, you've got a couple of hours to call anyone in Taiwan to get them to the grand opening. I know the tickets have sold out. I know people are turning up anyway. So this will be a phenomenal event. And Dan Doyle is there today for this as well. And 9th of March, Thailand's grand opening. So this will be a phenomenal event with a great lineup of speakers from corporate, Tyler, Chuck Funky, Jerem Webb, and so it goes on. So this will be a really amazing experience. Just keep that in mind for any people you know in Thailand. This week on a Wednesday night, we have Diamond Sepp Hock, who will be the special guest hosting the Expert in the House call. There's the information down here on how to access that webinar, and it is at, as a baseline, 7:30 p.m. Queensland time. Now, the time zone changes on the 7th of April, so we'll just keep that in mind for next month, but so far, Sepp's coming up, and it'll be really a great call. So here is the redoxdiamonds.com website that you'll want to have in your vernacular and with you, because this is an easy way. Nicole and I are working on making sure that all Australian Diamond events are advertised through this one website. So it'll be good to know that you don't have to go here or there or wherever, it'll just be on here. And just to give you an idea, you can book events directly from Facebook by clicking this link. You can book events to, like, let's say the biannual Diamond Tour events or the Peak Performance as well through this.
So this, from this link here, you can't get any of the corporate events.
No.
But you can get all the local events here, including the Peak Performances you just mentioned. And
there is the Expert in the House recordings. You can also access through clicking here as well. This just gives you an idea when you actually go click on the Facebook link. It brings up ASEA AU Diamond events. You can get tickets that way. And this book now tickets also links to ASEAevents.eventbrite.com.au, which could be confusing, but in short, just go to redoxdiamonds.com. So for April, April 6th is the next monthly team leadership webinar. So keep that in the front of your minds to come together again the first Saturday of the month.
Put it in your phone, put it in your calendar, promote it to your team.
First Saturday of the month in Australia. So in May, of course, there is Saturday, May 25th, the Adelaide Discover ASEA event. ultra early bird tickets across all these events I'm going to mention will expire and go up April 30th. So save the money now, buy the tickets, buy a block of tickets, and we're excited to have Adelaide being featured again for these events. So Melbourne Discover ASEA is Sunday, May 26th. And the Blue Mountains. So Julia Wesley is organising a phenomenal event in the Blue Mountains, Sunday, May 26th. Brisbane is also Sunday, May 26th. There'll be various diamonds at these events speaking, so you're certainly going to get good value and high quality. So we have Saturday, June 1st in Sydney as well. Yet again, get your tickets, and Perth will be June 9th. At this stage, Bart and I will be in Perth along with Sepp and Jeska. So make sure you get your ultra early bird tickets for this round of events. Of course, Cancun will be the June 11th to the 15th. So congratulations again on the second and third place achievers for Ascent. Just to let you know, obviously in September we have the biggest scheduled ASEA event of the year, September 12th to the 14th. Here is a discount code that is Australia region specific. So you can save $50 US, which is significant for us, for all of us as Aussies and as Kiwis as well, for us to be able to make that savings. So this is, like I said, region specific. They're tracking how many people are going to be using this discount code, and it's only available till July 31st. Don't pay full price unless you really want to. So we will be having a post-convention webinar, which will be an online Zoom webinar on September 21st, featuring upline diamond leaders and special head office guests as well. So keep that scheduled. In October, of course, there's the Ambassador Four Seasons Resort extension, along with the Diamond Extension program a few days later. So in November, we're having regional events November 9th across all the capital cities again. And just another recap for February next year, the 28th, 29th, the corporate Envision event, as well as the peak performance training that we've heard about, both of these programs today, Sunday, March 1st. So get your tickets by June 15th, as I mentioned. This particular training day is in Australian dollars and the corporate events are in the US dollars. So yet again, as a recap, because being repetitive on these links will help to get the message across as to where to go and create less confusion. So all field run events, you can either go to aseaevents.eventbrite.com.au or now redoxdiamonds.com. And for all corporate run events, aseaevents.com. Just to let you know, there is some phenomenal information on the redoxshop.com. It was a significant amount of time put together for us to be able to access tools in Australia. They've got phenomenal booklets, ways to use redox gel. Would you like to? It's a phenomenal booklet along with redox experiences. Dr. Gary Samuelson and Dr. Robertson Ward's books are in there as well. So Dr. Samuelson's book is the first one, The Science of Healing Revealed. So be sure to go on and order. It's local shipping. It's really been set up for our benefit. And we wanted to thank you all from across the globe for joining us today on this monthly leadership webinar. We're really excited to have been able to feature the panelists that we have today. Very insightful information they've provided for every single one of us. They're all wise, they're all doing it, they're leading by example, and we're very blessed and honoured to have had you all featured today. So yet again, thank you so much for joining us. Please reach out to your upline if you have any more questions. Is there anything that you wanted to add?
No, that's it. Just want to say thanks again, everybody. Let's rock 2019. Let's have some fun, help a lot of people, and build our businesses. And we will have this recording out on social media as soon as it's uploaded into our YouTube channel. So if you're not on, make sure that you like and follow Team Builders Global. Team Builders Global on Facebook. I'll make sure that it gets posted up there. Fantastic. Thanks, everybody. Thank you again, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll catch up soon. Thanks, Bart and Melissa. Thanks for everything you do for everybody. Thanks for hosting this. Really appreciate it. Thank you
thank you guys. You're amazing. You're amazing.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Bye-bye. Great to see you all.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Bye.